we're here because Randy's going to explain in detail that Elk Grove Apartments is not a dead deal. And so they have a January 10th meeting, and Randy will tell you about that. But what I wanted to ask you, what we're here for after he talks, is we want to know who will help make signs. And we're not talking fancy signs, we're just talking a big marker, get the poster boards from dollar store, they have yellow, whatever. And we want to, even if we have to go out and hold signs, we want to get your neighbors, as many people as possible to attend that January 10th meeting. Numbers are important, we've already proven that by delay. So many people said you're never, this person, that person, them. I mean, there's the core group of people, I'm sorry if I missed somebody, that really thought it. Had they not brought it to my attention, I wouldn't even have known about it. Because we're not all getting flyers, we're not all, it's just the people that are right around there. So thank goodness to our good friends here that paid attention, because this is, I went to Folsom. I just want to tell you, it is not what they say it is. I talked to the owner who manages the whole organization that's going to manage that apartment complex. He said it's a disaster. It takes an act of Congress to get them out of there. It's not easy. In other words, how they projected it, or what I understood them to say, well, if you have a problem with the tenant, we get rid of it real quick. It's not that easy. So, and I don't know if you guys have noticed some of the changes. In fact, the young man that works here, I don't know a lot about a lot of the crime. And he was right behind Bel Air. There's a lot of issues going on that we're not hearing about. So I'm not. It has nothing to do with this shelter. She can tell you about that.
I just wanted to say, just so people know that are not in our group, there's already within, I think it was 10 days or something like that, they are already, the guys from the warming shelter were trying to put up little tent things around my shop. I found like a bottle of half-drink Jack Daniels shoved in bushes. I found a bike shoved in a bush. I found shopping carts shoved in bushes. And the other day I saw footprints going up to my windows, like looking in my window. And this is less than 20, the cop lady told me it was less than 30 people. It was like 20-something people, mostly men, 2 women in the warming shelter.
Well, that's why we need to thank Colson's and Perez. I was calling Madruga, I didn't call her Mary. But anyway, they're calling the police, and Jean and Bob, they're calling the police on every single thing that the police department told them to call. They asked them, we don't know unless you call. So if you see something that looks suspicious or call the police department, they want you to call. The more people that report it, okay.
Didn't they put a police vehicle with a camera up?
Yes and
You
no.
were reading my mind and
Yes
it's
and
gone.
no.
They did it for one. They did it for 1 day or 2 days.
My understanding it was going to be there for the entirety.
So, yes, it lasted a couple weeks and then it disappeared.
Okay, so that.
Hey, can I
So-
say something? Let me have a thought. Give me a
I'm going to step down now. I just want to know, well, I'm going to send a thing around. Please sign your name again. I know we have lists, but you guys want to be involved, and that's what I'm doing.
Get you closer.
I got it. Let me just give you, here's the whole thing. Hello, Ron Bonta is the AG, and what he's doing is suing the city of Elk Grove to intimidate them into voting a certain way. The city council is listening to him. So the last time we did this, I got up and I told him this. I told him that Elk Grove is not in the best interest of Elk Grove, and you guys voted to be in our best interest, and you're not doing it. And if they don't do it now, we're gonna have to take them out. And I told them I would spend money to put street signs and bumper stickers, whatever it takes, and I will. I'll give you $1,000, $1,000, I'll give you,
I will too.
if it's necessary. We've got to defeat anybody that votes for this. I don't care what the reason is. Now, Juan was on the meeting that turned it down. He voted against it. And the planning commission voted against it. And now they keep doing it and they're rolling over. we've gotta beat them. That's all I can tell you.
So we all need to get
Is he a
together.
planning commission or something? Is he a planning commission?
So,
Not here.
there's nobody
That's why I didn't go on
city
city
council.
Introduce yourself, is that
He must be on the planning, because he's not
I'm
city
Juan
council.
Fernandez, I'm planning commissioner, I live here in Old Town.
He lives on Rancho.
The last city council meeting, the city council asked the developer to come back and negotiate. Right. I can't remember the exact legalese, but in good faith, I think was the term. And the mayor was really pissed that they didn't show up, they didn't even bother to show up to that last hearing. Do we know what, if anything, came of those meetings in earnest?
No.
What do you think? It seems kind of like a surprise for it to be on the city council for next Wednesday with no report or update
Somebody
back
said
to
that
the
we should
community.
request the
We absolutely
records
should.
of it.
So I started to request that today
Good.
of the city clerk. Like, before you put this on the calendar and the agenda for a vote, can you please notify the interested people of those discussions? Don't just put it back up for a vote. So, has anyone reached out to Jason Lindgren?
I'll go through that.
Okay, thank you.
So, my name's Randy Bekker. I've been in Elk Grove area since 1975. And even though this project doesn't affect me where I live in Old Town, it will affect Old Town, and that's something that I cherish very dearly. So, just to be clear, I'm not somebody that lives within shouting distance. I'm very active, have been. We went on a writing campaign around Thanksgiving to the Attorney General's office, to the applicant, to let them know who we are, why we were against this, and what was needed for the future of the project. So then we went into Thanksgiving, we went into Christmas, and to kind of piggyback off of Juan, the flyer that was sent out last week has to legally be sent out for any resident or business within 500 feet of the proposed project. So in essence, it's not public throughout the city, it is only public for those residents that are affected, and that's by law. So once that information got to us, actually in writing, I sent a text message out to Rob Brewer, which is our council member, and said that I would like to talk to him, but I knew that he was out of state, and I wasn't sure if he would be back in state. He indicated to me that he would hope that he could get back to me Thursday or Friday of this week. Bobby and her husband was in London. I didn't bother reaching out to her. We've gotten good correspondence with her in the past. It was useless for me to waste the time to interrupt somebody's vacation over something that they wouldn't be able to spend the time needed. I then on Tuesday of this week, I contacted Jason Lundgren, which is the city manager. Jason and I have got a pretty good rapport. We talk openly about different issues. I texted him, I said I would like to talk to him about Oak Rose. He indicated to me that later on that afternoon that he was traveling, he was in Southern California, and that he would get back to me. I said, no problem, anytime this week. Today, I got a text message from him. It basically said, I cannot talk to you till after the agenda is posted on Friday. So it all kind of irritated me, and as Brian has asked me to write a few emails, I wrote this email, and it is a little long, but bear with me. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, given this letter, the residents of Old Town are upset and outraged. We have once again been kept in the dark and blindsided with no information. At this point, we don't know what to think or who to even believe. As supporters of all of you, this is unacceptable. We were told public information the applicant was interested in negotiating a settlement of land swap of their property on Elk Grove Boulevard to a different property that the city owned. At that time, the property being discussed, as far as we knew, was on Elk Grove Florin Road, close to Calvine Road. Since there are no citizens involved who from the city has been involved in the negotiations. If there is issues between the parties, what are the issues? At the council meeting, there was comments from the dais that there was incentives, parentheses, money, on the table to help move this project out of the historical district. The citizens expect transparency of what is actually going on and what has taken place for this project to come to the council for consideration to pass the project and allow it to be built in Old Town. I can tell you this is unacceptable, and we expect the city to allow a few citizens, as well as a few of you, to have a conversation with the applicant like we did with CNU. CNU was a big hospital on the west side of Elk Grove that the citizens had similar issues in essence. This would allow all sides to understand what is needed to move this project and how it could be accomplished. Given this project, if it moves forward, will change the future landscape and opportunities the city would like Old Town to look like, as it has been mentioned in the past. If this project is built, it will kill any opportunities for nightlife and revitalization in Old Town. If this project is approved, the 3 properties just west of Elk Grove Boulevard towards Webb Street, the city owns. These properties are slated to be senior affordable housing project. In the community meeting with Christopher Jordan just before Christmas, I asked a question about this project being an SB 35 project that the developer could decide to build. Given Oak Grove's approval, this could open the door to this project being another Oak Grove. Let's not forget that these residents are filled by the county list, having disabilities by what the applicant stated of addiction or mental health issues. One last thing. We do need housing for everyone, even those having substance abuse or mental illness, homeless individuals. However, is this the right place for it, given the vision of what we would like to see Old Town's future? I think we owe it to ourselves to try and move this project to a better location, even if it costs to the city. We only get one chance to get this right.
Okay, so we got to remember now, this isn't homeless. This is 100% housing. 100% housing.
Supportive housing.
Supportive. So that means that it's
Subsidized by us.
It's only
For
addicted.
either
Drug and narcotics.
it's incarcerated, rehabilitated males.
Right.
67.
And that's what's so frustrating, is because as a resident, you see all of these comments from people as far as like Wilton that really don't have a clue what is going on, about how that, well, look, the shelter hasn't provided to be any problem. I thought this was supposed to happen,
Well,
that was supposed to happen,
okay.
crime was supposed to go up.
So that's why I want everybody to know and understand that this is 100% housing. This isn't homeless. This has nothing to do with helping anybody. You're not helping anybody by doing this, and all you're doing is making it worse on the people that live here. Period. That's it. There's nothing else to it.
So lastly, on Friday afternoon, the agenda for next Wednesday's council meeting will be public and posted. And we will know more, knowing either it is on the agenda, there's other issues, or what have you. I've got to believe currently, it's my own belief, knowing the conversations and open dialogue I have with Jason, there's more to the story that he's not willing to talk about. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know.
More importantly than just the agenda being published on Friday is the staff report. So the staff report
Right.
will give details about what
What's gonna
staff
happen.
has had conversation with the
Right.
developer, if any.
Right.
And so Juan, do they have to post that staff report? or
Yes.
they do? And
Yes.
The same time as the
conveniently, they'd
agenda.
always
Yes.
wait until about
So,
5
I
o'clock
actually-
on Friday to do it.
I was actually very curious about this, because I was looking at my agenda for tomorrow, and I was like, why is my agenda posted but the city council's isn't? And so I went to the city clerk website, and it states very clearly that the agendas will be posted no later than Friday, the day before the Wednesday. To which I have a bigger question, like, if there was something that's getting agendized for our neighborhood, this issue being aside, notifying me on Wednesday for the notifying me on Friday for the city council meeting on Wednesday is not enough notice, right? Unless I'm within that 500 feet of requisite notification, I don't know what the city council is meeting on or voting on. So,
Well, I know there's-
3 days or 4 days is not enough time,
Because I
right?
know everybody has their own
So,
policies and procedures, but I work for a board and we had to notice 10 days ahead.
It should be more than 4 or 5
The-
days.
So we understand all that, let's keep moving
So-
forward, because
so
we
the
don't have a whole
meeting,
lot of time here.
the meeting actually was a think tank for a few people, few individuals, and it got opened up to more, which is good. But it was more so of having conversation, getting to know those, reacquainted, those folks we haven't seen, and wishing everybody a happy new year, even though that this is kind of BS. Oh yeah, it was a huge surprise.
Yeah, I met with a customer yesterday for 2025. Am I gonna be there in
Yeah.
2025?
Yeah, yes, you will.
Okay, what are we gonna do now?
Okay, so
Let's-
then now
let's,
we're gonna go to Sue.
Start talking.
Okay,
Well-
Sue, we got a plan, right?
Well, we kind of had a plan. I didn't know about the Friday thing until this afternoon,
Right.
talking to you, and I don't quite understand all of it, but
We still need to move forward no matter what their plan is.
Yeah. What
Okay?
are we gonna
So
do
whatever
right
your
now?
plan is, we're moving forward
Well,
with it.
this is,
What do you wanna do right now?
well,
Hey, sir. With the guy. Should be here. He sent it to you.
Say now,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Just the guy. He sent it to you.
Wow, he come in here then. We need
Everybody
him.
wave at him like we're a
Second
kid.
guy.
do they want to be here?
They wanna be here.
Okay, so,
We need more glasses, folks.
the only thing we can do is what we've done before, but we have to do it fast.
Well, okay, can we do some bumper stickers or some signs?
Well, just the signs again, we can go and, go ahead.
Okay, so what we like to do, what I do, is I get on my bike and I ride, I start handing signs, flyers, posters, doing things, just getting after everybody in the public out here in my community, in my neighborhood, my residents, my area. They love me.
The people that do
So-
Facebook and the neighborhood thing, which I don't know anything about, need to do that.
It's already posted.
So that's what I do. Now, you know, there's other things that can be done that I don't do. Now, I know Sue wants to make posters and get them on the fence again. I know she wants to have
Well, I honestly think a protest at the property
Right.
at working time to make people aware of
where
what's
what's
going
coming
on.
up again.
What do you guys
This
think?
is their
Do you
last
think
one.
that was
It would be
effective?
Monday. I think it's effective.
No, I think we should do it
For
Saturday.
sure, people were wanting to
Saturday.
see flyers.
We did this.
Well, because remember last time you were in work at the time.
Yeah,
People were,
probably
so
Saturday
people I
night.
called, they couldn't come right,
And
wasn't
he
good enough
thought it was
notice.
over.
Okay.
It doesn't
What can
matter.
we do now?
Okay, so I think I have a solution to that. We need to figure out if everybody's willing to make some sort of flyer up. We need to get everybody's area that you can take it to, so we don't, waste our time doubling up. This is an old flyer. But we could kind of use that, maybe change the date on the top would be about all we'd have to do.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But don't
that
you think
one.
it should say something like, this is it?
Read that
If
one.
you care about Elk Grove.
Well, we really don't know until the Friday.
Like home,
Well, I
homeless
mean,
shelter
people
coming
never
in.
know
I mean, if
that.
they notice
Well, you
that
can't
they
call
provided-
it- you can't
I
call
only
it
received a
homeless.
text
Unhoused.
from you, I think.
Unhoused.
From you, I think.
If you guys take a couple of those pictures.
Yeah, then you can add that.
But it's not homeless, it's not really a homeless thing, it's a halfway house. Well, yeah, you have to call it supportive housing.
And we really want to emphasize historical old town Elk Grove. Did you want a copy of the old one?
We have it.
Okay.
So then you could just, if you could create the one
I agree.
and get it out, we print some and get them out. But don't make everybody write their own, that will
Yes,
not,
exactly.
we'll have a shit show going.
And Randy was making a point that while some of us live outside of the 500 feet, it affects us, or may affect us. And so I think, making signs and getting more people aware of it, and I think that's been done in the past, right? People
That's all I've
picketing
done.
and in front of
That's all we got here.
in front of the lot and on the corner of Waterman and Elk Grove Boulevard, just to make people aware of it, I think.
So
Because there are
basically,
lots of-
it's us right here, right now.
Where's the
Right.
We need to
Exactly.
make some posters and get set up over at Jackie's
I don't
place.
have a problem making posters.
Okay, and then put them up, and that's all, just some little things here in the next couple of days. We have everybody's phone number, we could make a time and we could meet at Jackie's. We could make these posters up and get them up on the fence, get some things done. I could run around in the street and do what I did last time. Just kind of start getting the people aware of what's going on. We need to stay on the internet, if anybody knows the internet stuff.
Okay, what do you want the signs to say? Everybody has, but what do you think's gonna, about the meeting?
It's like, people need to know that this is it. They need to step it up, or we're gonna
You
lose
actually need to say,
our little old town, Elk Grove.
Hey, listen, Juan, what does that say, Juan? Does that say they're going to approve it?
Yeah, it
They
does.
said-
It says
Staff's
staff
gonna
staff
approve it.
recommendation is to
But
That's the one we need to put, just start handing them everywhere.
Tell them, what's it say? Let Juan
It-
tell us.
It says, staff recommendation is to approve the project.
But last time they were
Yeah, right here.
recommended.
Staff will be recommending approval of the
That's
project.
That's what we gotta find.
Yeah, but they recommended it last time
That's
too.
right.
They
They
said
recommended
they were
it
turning
since
it on.
the beginning.
This one might be one of the final
The
steps.
staff is
This is the
only
final,
I'm
final.
thinking
Like, they were
there's
gonna
a
approve it in December.
To approve it.
Yeah.
The council has said no, no, and no. Now, they could still
But
be a
first-
no.
First, they get up and they say, look, we are forced to approve this because it's gonna cost a lot of money.
That's them
And
talking.
it's not true.
But
gonna
like
get
he
the top
said,
control.
I think we need to
You're
request.
gonna get the talk before they do, okay?
No, we need to request.
Don't worry, you'll get your time before they get their time, right? That's how it works. They're gonna say you're gonna tell the council that we're gonna fight. We want you to fight, they're gonna fight.
There's a question in the corner.
Signs are good, but the people who are going to decide this are those 5 council members. Should we not be hounding the 5 council members?
That's what I was trying to
I
get all
mean,
their emails.
signs maybe get you some attention, but those 5 up there are, you've got the one that represents Old Town, you've got the one that represents Camden, which is pretty close. They're all supposed to care about Elk Grove, even though they're not our district. But you need 3 council members to say no. You need 3.
We don't have them.
Well, but someone needs to lobby them. Someone needs to call them up and go to their office and talk to them.
If you get up in the council meeting,
You gotta do it before then. By the time they get to the councilman meeting,
So
those developers have already talked to them a dozen times.
So you heard what Randy said, right? Me, Randy, my wife, all of us are in communications with Bobby and the rest of the crew.
Okay, has anybody talked to Darren?
Not since,
He
not,
is sympathetic to the situation.
So Darren Sue hasn't really been really hit, and.
But he's a vote.
I'm
He's a
kinda
vote.
sick, and remember I told you already, I kind of left Darren alone. Now, the rest of the crew now, I've been after them a little bit. I don't wanna get pushy with these people until they're actually sitting there saying, that, you know, we're gonna deny.
But then it's too
Well,
late.
then you're
Yeah,
looking at
exactly.
problems.
You're too late. You gotta do
So,
it
They
beforehand.
make their decision any way you look at it. No
Everybody
matter how
please
many times we
remember-
plow.
Well, then you're wasting your time here.
Yeah,
Once we make
because
the decision.
I think Sergio
So
could be
if-
flipped.
So exactly to your point, we should be talking to the 5 individuals that are gonna be voting on it. We should be making our neighbors aware that the vote is going to happen.
So that's what it says.
And Rod is directly accountable to
For
us.
this area.
Rod is worthless.
If
Thank you.
If that is your opinion,
True.
we should let him know that he votes
I've already
yes.
done
That he
That's
votes
all the
yes, and this
emails
will be
we
his
have.
last term.
Yeah, we have them all.
And
Trust me.
Darren
we
is
have all.
sympathetic
Can you send a
to
few
this
more?
issue, so that's 2 votes right there.
Yeah.
But you gotta play chess.
You
with
do.
your
It's an old
moves,
flyer.
And if you get one more
Yeah.
city council person, then it does
Makes
not
sense.
pass. So I think Darren, if Rod is listening and he votes yes, then thank you for your point.
Right,
It has
right.
all their
And
emails.
let's all
Right.
remember that as of January first, Rod Brewer is now
Vice mayor. Yes, exactly.
That means nothing. That's a
Oh,
title.
I
That's
understand,
just-
but
yeah.
that's.
Yeah, that means
So-
really
That's
nothing.
nothing.
Yes.
So to answer your question, part of the problem has been the holidays.
Yeah.
You go from
Well, sure.
Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's.
Yeah.
And yes, I can tell you, I was in bed in Tennessee and my phones rocked and we wrote a lot of emails and got a lot of contacts. But since the holidays, it's been difficult. So to understand, we used to vote at large. We used to vote for all of them. That was politically changed by a group of individuals by a threatening lawsuit, pending potential threatening lawsuit. Now, the city council has taken the attitude of one Elk Grove, meaning we're gonna do what is best for Elk Grove. Right, but here's the problem. If you got a situation like this where, for the sake of argument, that they're up against a $3, $4, $5 million lawsuit, and it's out there pending, somebody like Darren Soon that represents the people over there, those people are gonna go, why are you doing that? We're not gonna pay for
Hold
that.
on. How much is the Rite Aid worth?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Million,
be
two,
honest with
three,
Yeah.
4?
It's probably at least that.
Okay, so
Not
we got
more.
the money, because if you're gonna vote for this, we're gonna sell that.
Yeah, because
So
all
we got
that
$4
is,
million to sue them back to get what we lost.
the library is a place
they
for the
won't-
homeless
they
to
won't.
hang
There's one
out.
for you right
They're
there.
setting it up that way. They have free
That's,
house.
wait
They have
just a second,
places.
that's not what I'm
It's
saying.
not, it's a
We
place for
have to
them to
look at the
hang
big
out.
picture. This is the
Kids are
law
not
now.
gonna go there.
SB 35 is a law.
There's another
Now,
one.
we've had people that have said, her husband and you, and that are legal backgrounds that said, no, we have a right, you know, there's a.
To fight this.
I know, but I'm just saying, they're fighting it, and it might not be going the way they want it, we don't know.
We don't.
But I wanna say, I don't know any developers, and I grew up with developers, and my husband, my family, I do not know any developer that will ever not change a piece of property from a 1 acre to a 2 acre with financial incentives. And I'm telling you, that concerns me more than any of this.
There's a lot that
Because
concerns
this
me
could
all
be-
about this
Declined that
deal.
offer.
Well, I don't know if there's.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know if they did or they didn't.
We don't
And
know anything about what
that's
they've done.
why,
We got.
that's why I wrote the letter the way I did today, because the city sent out the announcement to the residents, and everybody was unclear. We thought that there's discussions going around and that there's going to be some type of settlement.
Yeah, negotiations.
Yeah.
Positive through all of this for a while.
Right.
No, that's.
So-
Hey, so the acreage over there is, well, I think it's, almost 4, isn't it?
That was 2.
I know it's significantly more than that.
It's almost double.
They get to double to 167.
That's what should scare all of us.
And not to
more than-
mention they were gonna get $1 million incentive, not to mention they were gonna get their SB 35 fast track so they could build tomorrow, no matter what. and they're not gonna do
And
it,
they're not approved
so
financially.
there's something
for
in
this.
our city that's a
Dirty.
crook.
It's dirty, something's
So they're
dirty.
gonna have to present that to us, one way or another.
They won't.
They've already said
They
it.
will not.
Now, if their attorney wants to present it to us, that's fine.
He's not going to.
Which attorney?
The city's attorney.
Right.
He's nothing.
Well, he's the one
Problem.
determining that they go and vote for this to be
Well, I think that's part of the problem.
It is.
Because we're on the outside.
And we're not looking in.
So
Go ahead, Ben.
I think it's well within all of our domain to ask, not just Rod Brewer, but now the holidays are over, ask all of them, what is the status, what communications have happened with the developer?
Okay, and I do
Please
have
provide
all
us an
their
update.
emails right
We want
there,
the
and I can't
notes
send that out
on
again,
those
and they've been
meetings.
hammered with emails, I know they have.
Well, at this point, what they fall back on, well, agenda's gonna be announced on
Well,
Friday. Because I think
we can ask for that asynchronously, because the agenda, like, we should get some update before it's formally agendized, right?
Yeah.
I thank you for notifying me. I thought it was gonna be pushed into the new year, right? And there would be a community update. This is the status of.
So
but there's
everybody
nothing, it's
knows
just
that
getting
they're
pushed on
doing
the
what they
agenda.
normally do and how they do life, period, okay? They wait, they quiet down, they wait till something goes on, everybody goes on vacation, they all come back, first thing they do, they put it on the agenda, boom, they pass it, everybody's
That's
gone.
called lying,
Cheating, hiding, sneaking,
hiding.
stealing,
Okay, I want to ask,
backdoor.
does
That's what it's
anybody know
called.
the background of this city attorney? I'm telling you
Ours?
his past. Ours.
Jonathan Hobbs?
I want to know his background, where he got his degree, everything. We need to find out
You
everything.
know, that's all that stuff, you just go to the city
Randy, you
website.
sent me some stuff about the meeting, about, something, and I didn't have time to.
Oh,
read it.
what that was, you and I were talking about the court case.
Yeah, did you guys know there was something happened in the
That's
court
a
case?
great.
Right, now, I see, now I do know that the city, our city attorney,
Yeah.
okay, went to the council and asked the council for permission to hire another attorney
Yes.
to fight this.
Yes.
Okay?
So-
Now, whatever their conclusion is, isn't up with us, because
No.
we don't know.
But Randy, what did that say?
Now, why does it take two of them to
I
make a
didn't
decision?
read it, I just sent it to you.
Okay, there was an
How did you
update,
find that out?
and he
Oh,
sent it to me, I haven't
that
had
was
time to read it. They had
meetings
something
ago.
and it was favorable to the developer. And wasn't it favorable to the developer?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, by money, it was a better piece of property.
No. Just between Christmas, the developer, our attorney, our city attorney, and the
Okay,
hired
all
attorney,
right.
okay, here.
So basically, they asked the judge to include 2 additional city council hearings, and the judge ruled they could. So it was more of an information, like, so,
Who's the judge?
That took us into, February? Into February something is their court
Yeah,
next year.
Very much about himself.
The judge or the attorney?
John Hobbs.
The attorney.
Everything's all up in here, I just can't remember all the dates, but it's there.
Okay.
They all have it.
so basically what it
Anybody, a
was,
detective that can go
was-
into that?
the applicant was saying
My face red.
that part of the information at the first council meeting should be part of the record. And
It's not.
part of the information at the second council meeting that they didn't show up should be part of the record.
Oh, okay.
And the judge ruled in their favor. That's kind of showing that, in essence, I think, I took it that it shows that the city council was aware of everything, that there hadn't been nothing hidden. Meaning, through the process of the planning commission and all the council meetings that were with this, all the information were pretty current
Brought
and
along.
flowing. And so the judge ruled in the applicant's favor. I took that as a dollar sign, meaning, okay, you won, so now we gotta come up with more money.
Ask them for more money. That's fine.
Okay, so people
Sorry,
in the,
I have to go to
Okay.
trustee meetings, so
Thank
I'll
you for
wish you good
coming.
night, but I will ask Jonathan Hobbs for any update that we can post to the public.
Thank you.
And I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Because I think that's a critical missing component is what conversations have
Yeah, I
happened.
agree.
And, I mean, maybe sunshine
Well, so
law
what we can do
enables
is,
us to
we
know.
can kind of just, we can slow down for a minute, wait for him to get back to Randy get back to me, and I'll get on the phone with that list and email or text each and every one of us here.
Thank you.
What happened.
Thank you, Juan.
I'll send that tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, bye y'all.
Okay, so what did you guys think? I'm gonna talk to the people that were heading this up before we were. What did you guys think was most effective in your results of getting more people to?
For sure, the protesting
Well,
by
see,
fires.
The
I
season.
thought it was. People were grabbing our.
Media.
Yeah, the media.
I called meetings so many times, I slammed it, they turn it around,
Yeah.
it's not favorable to us.
Yeah.
Give me also citizen.
They keep putting
You want me to say
on
something?
that we don't want homeless.
Why can't we just put posters up that are really prescient? Something like,
Yeah.
the
Vote for
first
me
thing
for
it should say is,
Last president.
next door, schizophrenic
Oh my God.
and drug, alcohol, addicted people
Jesus.
will be permanently
Your neighbor.
living here.
But something like, you know.
Something that grabs them,
Like-
because people will go, what?
Okay,
What? That's
If you
scary.
haven't,
I see one in
if
Bel
you,
Air
something that like,
There's
it just
one
touches
person
her.
I have a
that
question
really,
for you.
that is very quiet,
Well, yeah,
and she
there was
has
one
to
at
be
Starbucks
quiet.
when we walked
She's
over here.
very,
There's one at
she
Starbucks.
called me
She's
personally
there.
and said, tell your group to be very careful on what they say.
We don't have-
Like
That.
Why?
that.
Why?
Because,
Because we've been careful for a long time.
Yeah, that's, they
I'm
can sue me,
getting-
can't they just sue me for that?
no, they're looking at it as like, you know how you look at race or
Put
you
my
look at,
initials- put my
I don't know
initials
the
on
right
that
words,
side.
because I'm not politically
Discrimination.
correct, but like, see, yeah, discrimination.
Hey,
That's
put
discriminating
my
against
initials on that sign.
The type of
She's-
people that have
she's-
this.
She's right.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's what they told me.
Let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Here's what works. The first time meeting we had, I sat there and threw it like I'm doing now, and I got upset with the people. Some of my accountant got up and spoke in favor of it, and I don't use her anymore. Anyway,
Yeah.
here's the problem, here's what worked. When I got up, I told them, this is this is an important issue. Are you with the public or not? If you're with us,
Schizophrenia.
that's good. If you're against us, we're going to vote you out of office, and I'm gonna spend money, just like I promised to Brian, to write things, to get anybody that votes for that, I'm gonna campaign against them. I am going to do that. They listened, and they voted, all 5 of them voted
I think
against.
I think the signs, Penny, need to say something like, wake up, people.
Just like she
You
said,
know,
we need to start getting.
This is for real. Our little city.
You guys, this is Chris, he lives behind over here.
Hi,
Chris.
What?
Where you been,
I'm gonna
Chris?
find out if we can't just.
We're sitting right there. We've been fighting this.
So I had a question for you.
Did you
When
buy
you
the
wrote that stuff
beer?
down there at the state, right?
Did you buy the beer?
Secretary and the.
I will, I need one.
Somebody else can.
Over here.
Wonder why?
You got a refill?
I think I might have something.
Normally that's a glass of wine, this is a glass of wine.
Just speak up. Don't-
Well, sir, to your point, sir, hey, sir, to your point,
Tell them this.
to your point about how you didn't use your accountant because she didn't support you. That's the same methodology we should use against Bobby. She's up for re-election in June.
They're all up.
No, they're not.
No,
They're
they're
4
not.
years.
Oh, you know,
Bobby,
Bobby's
this
up
is
at
right
2.
in Bobby's
You
face.
got it. They say, they promise you,
That's-
what do you want? And you tell them, oh, I
Right.
want this. They say, I'm your man.
Right,
Vote me
right.
in.
They
And
say
then
that every year.
And then they start voting to get reelected
Right.
rather than you.
Right.
So they need to
Doesn't
know,
matter what you
you
do
vote
to
for
Bobby
this,
Singh.
we're gonna campaign against you.
She's
and
vulnerable
you're gonna
because
be
she's
out of
up. She's up for re-election. She's vulnerable.
She's a Democrat running against the.
What we need,
Yeah.
I agree with what he said.
Okay.
What we need to raise enough money from the media to say, hey, Elk Grove citizens are against the city
You
council for
have
what
to
they're
pay
doing.
for
They're
it.
fighting on
You
the
have to
city.
pay for a big ad, and I don't know
This
how much.
place should not be where it's going. And pay
Well,
the
look,
media.
hey,
I think we're done.
you know, I don't have a lot of money, but I can help.
No, this is all, it's nothing. None of this.
I tell you folks, okay, It really doesn't matter how much we poke and
I like to
listen. Just hear all.
Yes, yes.
We can poke her until she's
It's right in
out
front of their
ears.
face what they need to do.
But she's still gonna be mayor. Because there's nobody else. Nobody's running against
I
her.
personally don't know who's gonna.
There is nothing.
Well, they're not, they're not
There's
running.
nobody running
Used
against
to
her.
say
If
these
she
days.
doesn't get reelected, there's
Other than what, the
What do you mean?
applicant stated.
She's running a campaign right now.
Yes, she is.
For her vote.
She is.
Okay? But there's
Excuse
nobody
me,
in the
Brian.
pocket to run.
Brian,
Nobody's running against her.
excuse me. We got people at this end would like to talk.
Yeah,
stand up.
first of all, it's a pleasure and honor to be here with all you putting this together. Thank you for that. This is really important, right, to our community and to our kids and the people we love and everything. So all I can speak is the part that I can do. And I think we all can probably do a part. And whatever that is, some people are good at this, some people are good at that. But I'm committed to do 100, 200 of these letters and pass them out. And I think probably a big impact is to get a large amount of people at that meeting and just make the show, because those are eyes that people that care. And if there's signs and if there's noise and proper protest against this, I think that's encouraging. I really like the email that Randy Bekker just read. I think that's very polite. I think it's to the point. I think it touches people that maybe they thinking that maybe these are a bunch of kooks just making a bunch of noise about something, and I think by maybe presenting an email like that with this letter, people can kind of see, hey, the effort has been made. We're trying to talk to these people. We're trying to be logical, and we're saying, hey, yeah, we want to help, but we don't think this is the right place to help. There's too many families here. This is a big community, and I don't know. It's just scary to think of what it can be. I've worked in Sacramento. You see a lot of homeless. You see a lot of things that, it's just not right.
We've done. Already done.
I would encourage,
You have to
though,
do it again.
everyone to write what they think to the council and the mayor.
Yeah.
Um,
Constantly, all the time.
Seriously,
Do you think
we pushed a lot of buttons. We pushed a lot of buttons around Thanksgiving.
Randy.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Thank you, but I gotta go along with this gentleman. The biggest majority of people that you can reach is by the media. If we have to pay the media to run the story, if the Elk Grove citizens are up in an uproar about what the city council's trying to do. And if it need be, we're gonna get an attorney and sue the city council for what they're doing against them. And let the media, let all the people say, well, what the hell is going on?
I know, Ben, when
And
you
that's the
run,
only way you're gonna reach it.
when you run those, you have to run it to be effective. Anybody knows media and advertising, you have to
That's
run
what I
it
can't
so
do.
many days.
That's right.
And it's very expensive.
I know it's very expensive. He's got
Social
1,000,
media
I
is
got
one.
5,000.
I would
Present
Social
to
media?
influencers and the influencers of like the rest of Sacramento.
Just a couple hundred.
Social media is the way to get people.
I don't
I
mind
can try,
if the
but
city council gives them.
so outside of our
Raises their taxes for 5 years.
they don't
to
know
get rid of
anything. They don't know what's
I
going
agree
on.
with you.
Really?
Sometimes it's not better.
How do you get on
The people outside our area.
No, I meant
How do you get on TikTok?
even
That's
these.
what I
know.
know.
There's even
Who is
even
social media
Waterman
savvy
Ranch,
here?
like,
Who is somebody that says
Not
that?
far.
They come in from
Anybody
like
know how to get on
the area in
TikTok?
South Sacramento, like why are you doing
Not
that?
because
They're
they're
all
sure.
Hollywood.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we want them over here in your neighborhood. What's so good about your neighborhood? They start calling us that name and everything.
I'm on.
Yeah, so I think that
Whatever you want.
About TikTok? About what?
Nothing.
Just say what you want to say.
Nothing, I don't really
What do
have
you
to.
want
I
to
think what
say?
he said is great.
I think Jim was trying to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Jean.
All I want to say is, if we say anything to the city council, or at the city council meeting, I'm talking about email or at the meeting itself, we don't need to talk about the old stuff we've been talking about for over a year now, about a year and a half.
That's all
Well, it's
settled.
being, we don't want this, the homeless do this, that, and
Yeah,
other.
exactly.
We want to talk about new stuff. And the new stuff is what we've been hearing lately. We want answers to why we haven't been informed on any of this negotiations that are going on, and what are, that type of thing.
I think we need to request the conversations that they've had, request the conversations that they've had with them and the
something
notes
like
on the
Okay, I'm
meetings.
gonna tell you something now, okay?
But we wanna get new information out there to everybody.
Okay, so now, like Sue and everybody, I've looked into other cities and other places and other buildings and other projects. They have 158 of these buildings, not one of them is completed. Not one of them is signed off a permit. 158 of these buildings,
When did they
in
start?
cities everywhere.
When
Why
did they
not?
start?
What's that?
Why
When did
not?
they start? Like how long, how?
2017, yeah. Okay, so I've been through this elite, all these people, all this stuff, read everything I can read, sent texts, video clips, everything you could think of people. This guy has a building in Folsom that was a 30-year Folsom police officer that's begging the Folsom City Council to get him out of the building. Just get him out of my building. So, if you don't know, I'm telling you, this is no joke.
The city needs
These
to know
people
that there's a lot of
are
businesses
ruthless.
that are gonna close.
So no matter what you say or what you put on any sign or what you do, okay, they're gonna come at you in any way they can to get what they want and what they want only.
Well, this
I
Southern,
asked- I asked
Southern
this-
California company got a grant, and it's gotta be a $2 to $3 million grant. I think I should research who the grant people are to give it to them, because one of my girlfriends got $2 million to start up a preschool, right? She got that $2 million last year, she was audited this year. I wanna find out why they're not auditing those people that got the grant money and they're not finishing off
Hold on.
what they got.
Check out if Jonathan Hopper went to law school
I have
first.
property people and attorneys, just because they want to, because they don't like what goes on, so they're looking into it. Now, there's a lot of problems that went on just in selling the property, okay? Now, they went through back deals on the property that the paperwork wasn't filled out right. I know the city attorneys, they haven't talked to us. They haven't done anything with, there's questions that we have that we've never got answered. They're gonna have to do something. Now, these people are getting offered a lot. And there's no deal. So there must be something going on within our city. And we need to know what that is. So no matter how vicious we get, or what we say, we're gonna take the punches right back. They can call us racist, they can call us nimbies, they can call us whatever they want.
You know, you have to look at.
Sticks and stones will
you
break
have
my
to
bones,
look
but
at
words will
things
never
from
hurt
a
me.
Developer standpoint, you guys. A developer just doesn't go in and look at this 2-acre parcel and say,
No, I don't want it.
no. You have to look at the picture. There's the brewery there. There's the house that has the attorney, immigration attorney. You have to look at the full picture around that library,
You
future
got
library.
the Red Cliff right here.
I know, but she
Yeah,
could be bought
there's-
out easy.
She's been there for 30.
I know, I'm telling you, this is how a developer looks at
30-something
it.
years.
We're gonna go in there, we're gonna do this, and we can buy this is easy, we can buy her out. Who's in the Elk Grove water now? Who knows who's in it? No, there's a
It's
group.
another, kind of the
Mentally
same thing.
challenged, no,
Those kids that are.
sale. It's a-
Kids that have, Randy O'Rourke knows.
I don't know about what, they paid $900,000.
No, but it's.
It was a trade with the, with the.
I'm trying to show you.
Yeah, with the
It's
Masonic
kids that
Lodge.
are autistic.
But I don't know who, what the
Like
Masonic
another
Lodge
thing,
is.
like what they're doing.
I don't know that.
They said they're mentally challenged.
To a group, yes.
Yes.
So what is that picture showing you though? It's showing you that developer, no, the
He knew what he
developer
was
might
doing.
have plans for that area that we are so unaware of. I could be jumping the gun on this,
No,
but
I
I'm
already
being
told you.
supportive of
I
our,
know.
I know.
I know a little bit about what the property is, who
Jackie,
sold
we all
what, who
do
did
that.
what, how that city got that property. I know about the city buying the 4 lots in front of Jackie's property.
Who bought it?
I'm wondering, and what I'm hoping is what's gonna happen here is that we're gonna get enough in their faces that they're gonna stick with us on this, no matter what their council says.
please do.
The city
Okay,
council was
so
gonna say,
let's
no,
back
we're not
up.
gonna do
So
that
you
right
guys, what do you want to do?
We just gotta keep pushing forward no
No, I
matter
know,
what.
we don't,
Make signs, get
Real quick,
Let's make
if you're gonna speak, next Wednesday, Wednesday, correct?
Yeah.
Let's focus on talking about that facility and not the warming shelter. It's totally, granted, it's an important subject, but it's a different subject. So let's just, use your 3 minutes for that, for this particular project. Also, I plan on
Even though I have
talking,
bad things to talk about the warming shelter,
that's separate.
I don't get to talk about that.
So-
Okay.
They want to build this 67-bed facility, correct?
Correct.
Well, what does the city
Mostly
want to
men.
do on the other side of you? They already have plans drawn up for a senior low-income facility. And hey, senior citizens who are low-income need a place to live too. Wait a minute, you're gonna put a 67-bed facility of people who have mental illness and drug addiction in between a library, not just counting you,
No, that's
and
okay, I don't
the senior center, the senior facility.
That's right.
This makes no sense because
there's
what you're
people
doing is
walk
you're
to the
putting
store.
vulnerable people on both sides of people who take advantage of people. So
that's a valid point.
There's a policeman at Bel Air now. Did you know that, you guys?
Oh, yeah.
He's not a legal.
Doesn't
He's an
matter.
armed security guard.
This is my point.
The only problem with him is
Sorry, okay.
He's not gonna pull that gun.
Wait, we need to give them the paper, remember that, that works good.
I might pull a gun. I have one.
Well, I'm thinking
I
about,
pull a gun if I had one.
thinking about making a procedural suggestion for us as a team. Great brain trust here, and there's a tremendous number of factors and perspectives and things. But we're the small group that wants to activate the bigger group to make a bigger impact. So I'm suggesting 4 items that we try to coordinate, and then all of the factors everybody can sort of sort through on the sidelines.
Okay.
But to me, it's a process of making it simple, because people aren't going to write their own letter, but they might take 5 minutes to forward the right letter. So somebody needs to write the letter. We have the letter that you can send to several people around. We can print. So to me, procedure 1, we get the flyer, have it written. It can send. We can print our own or have them printed, so we can go put them on doors and put them under windshield wipers and all sorts of things. Make flyers. We need the poster.
Flyer is 1.
Great.
Go.
Number 1, flyer. Number 2, we're going to make posters. We need to go where we're going to go and meet, make all our posters we're going to do, and what the words are, so we don't offend somebody and create alternative things. Make a flyer, make a poster. We're going to have a protest.
3.
3 is a protest day. Time, place, where are you going to be? Or are we going to do a time frame?
And what are you gonna say?
Right.
Yeah.
We can decide that on the poster day.
City Hall.
And then the 4th one is this impacting the decision makers, which is what do we write to them and say, I'm going to kick your ass out of office, or I'm going to slash your tires, or I'm just going to pray against you, or whatever that's going to be. But we have that letter that I can send 5 of them right away, and if I have a text, but some instructions that say, the letter written to them to say, please vote this down, and the addresses that sends it. So I can get that and give it to you, and you can say, oh, that's simple, I can do that. And I can get that to 50 people, and those 50. So Mike's got 200 out. So anyway, and the 5th procedure was I needed a beer. So, so those were the 4 thoughts. If we focus that here, then assigning somebody, the flyer, who's going to do that, the poster, the protest, and what letter goes to the council.
Thank you.
I like this guy.
So we go home sometime.
Okay,
Very good, thank you.
So,
Can I suggest on our protest, I mean, I think it worked very well for where you were, but that, and we're willing to branch out further down. Let's carry this through Old Town Elk Grove, because there are so many people that, I'm telling you, when we stood out there, mothers that literally quivered going, I had no idea.
Right, yeah.
that This was gonna be next to my kid's karate.
Right, what it
Next to the library, and so we need to carry this.
Yeah, we can get enough people, though, we need the bodies.
okay, I have a question for Randy. So Randy, say this comes out Friday on the agenda, and they basically vote on it on Wednesday the 10th? That could happen.
It could happen, yes. But Friday afternoon, the agenda comes out, and that will dictate potentially what we want to do as a group on Wednesday. They could choose not to even hear it. They could decide, given the circumstances, we're going to postpone it. Then anybody can go to a council meeting at any time during public comment. You still have 3 minutes, and you can voice your opinion on anything that's not on the agenda. But we will know Friday whether
We've
it's
been doing
important.
that. We have been doing that.
Yeah, we can go, we'll know Friday if we need to have a group, go to the meeting, or if we decide,
They'll wait till 6.
you know what, we can continue protesting. There's nothing to say that we can't.
Well, I think that, I know Sunday's the Sabbath and it's a church day, but Sunday it's not raining, Saturday it might rain. We don't have very many days. So if we did it like, I have to look at the calendar, but whatever days it's not gonna rain. And I found that people get agitated, this is what I heard comments, when that traffic is backed up on the boulevard.
You just slow the roll.
Monday or
It didn't
Tuesday.
seem upset to me.
So I do know one thing. I think
5
that,
o'clock.
People really care.
I think that no matter what, we should do the flyers, okay? Start at 1, do the flyers, get everything done, get everything ready to go, get the flyers busting out, we'll get on that, okay? And get these signs made and get to going on this stuff and work as hard as we can, okay? Throughout the rest of this week, going into next week,
Okay, who wants
so
to
we can
work
get
on
the community to know that this
Okay,
is back
let's
on
do the
again.
first one, let's do the flyer.
Flyer.
Because once they see it's out there and they get going, they're gonna
No,
be.
I did not,
Don't we have to convert that it's very easy?
I don't know, what did you guys think?
Flyer is number one.
I still have a bunch of
Flyer is
flyers.
number one.
I brought the old ones.
Flowers, number one.
I'll help with flyers.
Yeah,
Flyers,
for warming
sign.
shelter.
No, first we talk about.
I have it.
Okay, Jean is
Yeah.
gonna help with flyers.
How many other people will help with flyers? Pass them out.
I mean, we could pass it